composure.
Oh, he's that clutch up, fam.
I'm catching up, man.
Hey, what's going on, guys, and welcome to the exceL Esports YouTube channel. I'm joined by two very well-known people in exceL. You should know them by now, that are Zach and QwiKeR. And we're going to basically recap, or kind of give you a little bit of a recap slash documentary-esque video of kind of our run in the COD World League European qualifiers. We did, in fact, end up qualifying. Spoilers alert for anyone that didn't know. But firstly, QwiKeR, Zach, how are we both doing today?
Yeah, we're good.
Fucking wonderful, bro.
We're good?
I'm great, man.
Yeah.
Pop from the spot, shout to the spot.
QwiKeR's been trying to find an angle where he can't show his spot, and it's just like he's
Hey, I'm just gonna let you see it so you know what to say, yeah? There you go.
Do you want to give a story behind it? Like, have you named it yet, or?
I'm gonna call it Zach.
Okay, enough of that out of the way. So as I said, these two fine gentlemen are basically going to join me because obviously they are on our competitive Call of Duty team. For anyone that didn't know, you probably should know by now if you're watching this video. And just before we get into the games, because I think you ended up playing about 8 or 9 series, was it, if I'm not mistaken?
We played 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and we had a bye.
7 and a bye. So yeah, but just before we get into it, like, what has been your preparation coming into this, Zach? Like, how many hours have you been grinding? What have you been doing to really prepare yourself in like the best possible way for this qualifier?
Well, after Am2 Pro 3, we knew that like S&D was like a weak game mode and hardpoint as well. Like uplink, we were alright on CTF, we're pretty good. It's quite easy, to be fair. So we just scrimmed loads of hardpoints against any team we could. For however many hours, 10 hours, 12 hours, whatever we could do.
It's just been a massive grind leading up to the qualifiers, obviously. QwiKeR, for you, other than like hardpoint, what other things have you been like working on in terms of improving as a team, or is it just more kind of just learning the game more and more, kind of, because obviously there's been a lot of patches over the last couple of weeks, so is it kind of adjusting to what things are better in terms of weapons and things to use, or kind of how have you gone about adapting to these patches?
Yeah, I think initially we were like, we gelled really well at the start, and then we sort of started to see faults in our gameplay, so I think it was just mainly teamwork that we lacked in the start. We were like, we could all drop numbers, but we didn't always pull off like crazy scores when it came to finishing teams off, so it was mainly just working on our teamwork and yeah, just making sure we know the game inside out.
Yeah, awesome. Okay, so let's get into it. Obviously, the first couple of rounds were pretty plain and simple. I think we can all agree. No offense to the teams that we ended up playing, but you know, with exceL being kind of the level that they're on, as long as you weren't facing off, you know, against a well-known kind of organization with experienced members, etc., what was, you know, the chance of that happening were very, very slim. It was always going to be pretty easy. And looking at the bracket, you first went up against a team from, I think, like the Netherlands, by looking at it, what are called Team Pro Pain something or other. Can you run me through that matchup? How kind of was it kind of easing your way into the first qualifier game?
I think the first map was pretty straightforward. I think it was like 250 to 6, maybe.
2, bro.
Yeah, and then the S&D was a 6-0, and Uplink was, I think we got
70.
We were going for 75. At one point, we were getting 75 points in Uplink, so.
I think we got 68, I believe.
Yeah, we got 68.
Wait, you got 68 points in Uplink?
Yeah.
Wow.
On this game, the round doesn't end after 10.
Yeah, I was going to say, how just kind of talking about a couple of these things quickly, because I mean, I guess we'll talk about them in the early rounds, because later on is where the nitty-gritty kind of more intense matchups took place. But for you guys coming into BO3 off the back of AW, how is it not playing that you play to 10 points and then whatever time you get, the other team have to beat it in the following round? How is it for you? Would you prefer it to be that way, or are you liking it more this way?
You want to take this one, Zach?
Yeah, I don't know, it just doesn't really notice. Like, you just carry on playing
and get 68 points.
See, the thing is, yeah, we played a series at Am2 Pro 3 against Riot, and we got, pretty sure we got 10 points, but we started the second half and there was still 5 minutes left on the clock, and we were like, what the hell? Because we were expecting, I think we got 10 points inside 2 or 3 minutes, and we were expecting that to like have the stop clock effect, and then they have to get the same points or before us, so was kind of weird, but I don't mind it, to be honest.
Okay. And in terms of the formatting for this event, are you happy that ESL and Call of Duty and Activision and Treyarch went with best of fives throughout the entire bracket, or was it kind of, would you have rather seen it in the later stages like what we've seen in previous years? Because obviously with so many matches taking place and it had to be spanned over 3 days, which way would you prefer it?
Well,
I think.
You go.
I think it had to be best of fives because best of threes in these circumstances are just far too fluky. Like, you lose one map and you could potentially lose your league spot when you're like one of the top teams, but you just have an off map. So yeah, best of fives had to be done. Really.
Okay.
So yeah.
That's good to know. So obviously first round 3-0, pretty simple. It just seems like you were playing against a team with no thumbs. Excuse the expression, but it is what it is. Moving on, round 2, you played a team called the Unbroken that look like they're from Poland. Zach, do you want to run me through this matchup?
To be honest, I can't remember it.
Come on, use that brain of yours.
I was hoping Zach, not me, because I was going to say the same thing.
I can't remember who we played. But
right, the thing, a fun fact, yeah. Pretty sure over the first 2 hard points we conceded 16 points and we got 500 points. So, yeah, pretty straightforward.
Okay. I think that pretty much wrapped up Monday, if I'm not mistaken. They were aiming to do 3 matches, but I believe like just before you were about to play like your round 1 matchup or your second round because it was a bye, like PlayStation even released an update, like a 2 gig update.
Yeah, everyone just up. Language. I wanted to play 3 series, but
it didn't happen.
What?
But it is what it is. So then we moved into Tuesday, where obviously I think you played it again. Well, I think you played 3 matches on Tuesday. And it started off with exeQuality, a team from Spain. Can any of you remember what went on that one? Hopefully you can, otherwise this video is just going to kind of go a bit downhill.
We played 2 games on the Tuesday, 2 Spanish squads, and exeQuality. I dropped to 53, 52.
Damn.
On a 3 bar.
On a 3 bar.
Lag comp at its finest, bro. Good squad, but obviously no match to us really. Just warm-up game for our next match, which was a lot harder. Which was against the well-known Spanish people like Flex and his team. Flex COD. Nice guys. That was a quite straightforward game as well.
No, we were expecting a tougher game because if you guys didn't know, we actually got 237 seeds. So throughout the whole process, we actually got more hosts than the other team. I think it was once, and it was against French people. So we put on Spanish hosts 2 or 3 times. Obviously, they got 3 hosts, we got 2. So we were expecting some FA maps here and there just because of the Spanish host, but we shone through. And we ended up 100-point clubbing.
Do you think that's going forward a problem? Because obviously with there no longer being no MLG Pro points or any kind of ranking system throughout the year, obviously for Gfinities, GBs, etc., it's all basically done off random seeds. And especially for something like this, like, is there anything in your mind, like a way that they could have done it better? Obviously, like ideally, if there was some sort of ranking system, then that would be the most ideal way. But for you guys, like as you said, you had a seed of like 230 something that could have easily like screwed you over and had you facing up against like really tough competition before you'd even got to that qualifier matchup. So for you guys as players, like what would you like to see going forward in terms of a ranking system?
Initially, I thought the 4 teams that qualified, they should have gave like an opinion on who their top teams were. I thought that would have worked out, but they just I don't know, they had like no time to get it done. So but the thing is, host on this game, I don't even think it's that overpowered. I think it's just the PS4 and the connection, but on the Xbox One, like host was ridiculous. You would be able to tell who the host was.
It's as significant in a way because of
no way.
It's a lot more balanced with lag comp and stuff like that, and depending if you're host or not host, etc.
There was a game, Orbit against Giants, and I don't think there was a best of 5, obviously, and no team actually won their host. So
yeah, it was all.
I think that just kind of shows.
That kind of sums it up. Then I guess it just shows that you can lose on your host and win on your host at the same time, and it's still equal.
Exactly.
Okay, so moving on from that matchup against exeQuality, you said it yourselves, you played against Summer GG, who were a Spanish team that obviously you guys know some of the players on, I presume, then?
Yeah, there are a lot of well-known players.
Okay, so coming into
I've gone to
this matchup, were you by this point? Obviously, was this kind of your biggest matchup so far? I presume.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we were looking at this match as the one we sort of have to win. I think looking forward into the bracket, we were like, this is going to be our hardest game before the actual qualification match. So
Yeah.
we need to put 100% in this game. Can't really remember how the match actually went. I think we 100-point clubbed them first map, and then we won 6-1 in S&D. I think that's the one.
Yep.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
And uplink, I can't remember what happened in the uplink. It's definitely 3-0 though.
Yeah, 3-0.
Because I mean, like, up to this point, you pretty much you 3-0'd every team. You hadn't even dropped a map. Okay, so moving on from that matchup. I mean, just touching on the whole hosting, like, how was it kind of constantly playing against, Spanish teams, French teams, teams from Netherlands, Poland, etc. What was it kind of like for your experience? Because you're probably more used to playing French and UK hosts. So like, was there like a considerable difference? Because I mean, I know Zach, you said you dropped like a 53 bomb, but it was on like a 3-bar.
Yeah. It just
I actually preferred playing against the foreign teams just because they didn't use all the similar strats that we use. So
Okay.
like in the ban and protect and stuff, they would ban different stuff from what we'd normally ban. So
Okay. So
we had to
we sort of took that into the games going forward and stuff.
so in a
just had to
way,
make sure teamwork was on point. Otherwise, you're just gonna get fucking melted, didn't you?
yeah.
Shit.
It sounds a bit like, obviously, like a common kind of stereotype is the fact that North America and Europe have very different play styles in some aspects. It seems like, though, within Europe, though, individual countries as well have different strats, and as you said, like, they were using different strats to you, they were banning and protecting different things to yourselves. I think that's something that's quite notable, because obviously you have different like communities all around Europe that like kind of have their own little kind of playing routine, if you will, the teams that they practice against, etc., because of obviously the language barrier, etc. So what was it like for you playing against teams that had different strats, etc.? Was it kind of like a learning curve in a way?
Yeah, I think like you what? Nah, like we definitely took stuff from the teams we played against and took that into the matches going forward. But in general, we all had like we had our set ban and protects, so like that basically took away the chance of us getting BS'd. So yeah, it was alright.
Okay.
It wasn't too bad to play against.
So moving into the this must have been day 3 at this point. You played a German team that goes by the name of KK Y Licks.
Yeah.
Do explain, like, do you know any of the players on this team?
Nah,
like, because it's a very bizarre name.
Freddie, nah, like I think there was 2 of them that had the name UX. So they were a German wager team. I've played them quite a few times on UMG. So
Okay.
I know Freddie K tweeted Shea saying he could win. So
yeah, he tweeted me saying he was going to win before the game started. So,
maybe a little bit.
Gotta be
shook.
confident.
we were shaking, bro. They actually gave us a good first map, to be fair. I think it was, what's the map again?
I think it was like 250 to 160, but it was close up until the last couple of hills.
Okay.
And obviously, we started getting into it.
Did you drop a
Yeah,
map at all in this series? Because I know that
Nope.
overall you dropped like 2 maps, I think, but I think it was in the round before the qualifiers, and then in the qualifiers, what we're coming to talk about.
Yeah.
Okay, so another pretty simple 3-0. What was this team compared to the Spanish team that you played the round before, the last game of Tuesday? They were
actually decent.
Yeah, decent, but decent.
At one point, they were actually up in the hard point going into like the last couple of hills. So
okay, so they did put up a pretty good fight.
they were a decent team. The S&D was far more straightforward than I expected it to be. I think we won at 6-1 or 6-2. So that was a bit unexpected, as I said. Like we were expecting a decent game because they are S&D sweats. Respawn, we were surprised in. But S&D, I don't understand what the hell was going on.
That's fair enough. So basically, 5 rounds gone, all 3-0s. You were 15-0 in map count at this point. Then we get kind of down to the juicy end. 2 matches to go. In kind of the semi-final, should we call it, before the big qualifier. You played a French team by the name of Les Crabs. I can't even pronounce their name, if I'm honest.
Is that Melo's team?
Pardon?
Yes.
Yeah, Melo's team.
The funny thing with these, we didn't realise we were going to come up against them. When we looked at the bracket, we said, right, we've got the Spanish, and then we've got Niall's team. We'll get to that in a bit. We didn't actually realise that we were going to play these in the tournament.
Yeah.
That's quite a surprise.
Okay, so I mean, I believe you dropped a map in this. So do you want to kind of talk me through the maps and what happened?
The first map, it was Stronghold. I think we all played really well on that map. Brian in particular, I think he dropped 42 kills.
Yeah, he went off.
Them. So, the S&D though, one of our stronger maps. We were expecting to smash them on this map, and I blame the other three because they were. Nah,
You're not going to take the blame, Shea.
They were defending the one bomb site that I don't go to. Like on Infection, there's like one preferable bomb and it's B, and the three of them go B. Normally they're really good at it, but this time they suck. So I think we lost 4 defenses on the bounce, and we were down 5-1, and we ended up bringing it back to 5-5. And Brian got first blooded. And he had
So you brought it all the way back to 5-5 and then choked.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah,
Oh.
he had Brian get first blooded. Well, he didn't get first blooded. He died because he went down to rejack. Like if you got rejack, you can drop down.
Yeah.
He was in rejack. He came back out and he died.
Challenged him again and then died.
So he died. Used rejack. Challenges the guy that just killed him and dies again. That's commitment. That is commitment. If Brian, you're watching this, well done, GG. So obviously you lost the S&D, but the main thing is you won all the respawns to give you a 3-1 victory, and into the qualifier. Do you want to talk me through what happened in the qualifier?
I'll let Shea take that one. He knows everything about it.
First map. Went into French Hardpoint. We were like, this is one of our best maps. We've got this. Couple of minutes in, I got DDoSed, so. We lost that map
because there was
pretty depressing.
There was quite a lot of drama around this DDoSing. There was.
I didn't have a clue what was going on, like the drama. I had no idea. Obviously I had no internet, so I couldn't see my phone or like I was texting the phone and Zach the whole time. That was all I had. So I was like, what the hell is going on here? I'm getting DDoS. I'm getting held off, and they held me off like 30 minutes. And we went into the S&D, got a 1v3 to kick off the game. That was literally the craziest.
That was straight after your DDoSing as well, was it not?
Yep, literally the life after. So we went up 1-0, and then me and Zach went up 2-0, and then from there it was plain sailing. Everyone contributed, and we won that map 6-1, I believe. So yeah, really good map.
Uplink, we went 3-0 up. Shea, we were playing Infection uplink, and Shea was in their base.
I was destroying, man.
Yeah, they got hit off again, and there was about.
They just don't like you, Shea. There's just something
I'm just a
you.
target, man. I'm a victim, bro. If it's not my YouTube, my Twitch, yeah, it's my internet.
So there was a minute left of the first half of uplink, and they managed to score 4 points.
Right.
And then Shea got on a couple of minutes straight after, and we said, look, we're not losing this map. We don't want a game 5. We're winning all these maps.
Yeah.
I
went off in the second half because I was just killing everything.
My ones were sick in that map, to be fair. I'd never really hit ones on that map. They were just like, I knew I had to hit them, so I was just like, my calculations in my head were on point. I was just hitting everyone, and these guys were making the kills, so.
We ended up winning by 1 point.
By 1 point. Wow. 1 point.
But that gave you, what emotions did you feel? Like, what was kind of the team speak like as soon as you knew you had qualified for the COD World League? What was happening?
Well, Joe and Kieran were in our call at this point, and you can imagine what they're like.
They were probably literally like screaming.
Yeah, they didn't have a clue they had to try and figure out what the score was by our update, like call outs and stuff like that. And yeah, it's a fun time to be alive.
It was a great time.
Yeah.
After all the DDoS, and like I don't think I've ever been so stressed because it was like I'm playing for a league spot. I've not been DDoSed the whole time, and then the series to qualify, I get DDoSed twice in one series.
Yeah, I mean it's a bit kind of coincidental, should we say? But I mean we don't know who did it, whatever. But the main thing is, regardless of it happening,
let's not speculate.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Regardless of what happened, the main thing is you prevailed, you pulled through, and you ended up winning and showed you were the better team. Regardless of what happened, and you did it fair and square. So, I mean, I was so happy for you boys. I actually fell asleep, and then woke up the next one. I was like, did they qualify? Did they qualify? And everyone was like, yes, they qualified. I was like, yes, let's go. I was so happy for you guys because I know how much you know, this is like make or break in a way for some of you guys in terms of kind of, you know, you don't make this league, then, you know, what is there kind of in terms of making a career out of Call of Duty esports?
That was 100% the scariest part. Because we were
having that in the
thinking,
having that in the back of your mind.
yeah, it was just like anything can happen online, anything can happen in COD in general. So for that to be like single elimination, one loss, you're out, and then for the next couple of months you don't have a clue what you're doing. So
yeah,
we're very confident because
we were, but it was like you said, it's always
I think
in the back of your
rightfully
mind.
so, not like kind of being, you know, egotistical or cocky in any way. I think rightfully so. After the performance at AM2 Pro, I think you guys knew you had the capabilities definitely of qualifying the online qualifiers. You know, it's a shame that you didn't get invited to the LAN qualifiers and have, you know, basically 2 chances to qualify. But at the same time, I mean, looking at it, out of all the teams that attended the LAN qualifiers, the teams that didn't qualify on LAN, the 4 teams, I think only Giants and Vitality actually qualified in the online one. So just
very shocking.
Yeah,
very shocking.
So
no, that was ridiculous, to be honest.
Now that you're in the league, and obviously we are all super hyped to see you guys compete at the start of January, going all the way through with league matches, etc. I'm just gonna run you through the teams that are in it, like just who. Let me kind of give me an overall impression of what you think of the league, and kind of not really giving you a prediction, but just like who are you looking forward to playing, etc. and stuff like that. So obviously joining you, the teams that qualified on LAN were exceL with Millennium, Splice, and Infused, and then the teams that qualified in your section of the qualifier were yourselves with Pulse, Giants, Spartan, I think it was, and then obviously if you didn't win that qualifier, the qualifier that you were in, you obviously go down into a bracket where 2 teams will come out of it, and them 2 teams were Vitality and NGZB. So out of all them teams that I've just said, give me your overall impressions. Who kind of are you looking forward to playing, going forward, etc.
I'd say everyone in general. It's just like obviously it's like a massive deal to be part of the league. We just want to get started now. Don't care who we play against. If I had to pick teams I'm looking forward to playing against, probably just the top teams like Infused, Millennium,
exceL.
Yeah.
exceL.
I'm looking forward to playing Splice. A good team.
Yep.
Good.
I'd say just the UK teams, to be honest, because we want to prove we're a top UK team. Everyone's talking like the top 4 UK teams were the ones that qualified.
I was gonna bring into the discussion a little bit earlier, but I'll bring it in now. Obviously, at AM2 Pro there was no CTF. Did that kind of, in terms of when you were practicing and leading up to this, kind of was that like a big emphasis, like kind of making sure you had like enough time to practice CTF, because obviously it wasn't one of the game modes that you played on LAN. So was it kind of, was it like your least confident game type, or was it just something that when you started playing it competitively, it actually turned out to be, you know, you were all just exceptionally good at it?
I think for us, we were literally scrimming hard point non-stop, uplink non-stop, and we were playing wagers when we weren't scrimming. So
yeah,
we were looking at. I was going into this tournament looking at every series being a 3-0. I wasn't thinking about the CTF for the last S&D. So,
in fact, the CTF we did play.
Yeah,
never played before.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's why I wanted to 3-0 everyone. Just because we didn't want to go any CTFs or.
Yeah, like, you just wanted to get the uplink out of the way. 3-0, job done.
Exactly. I think the game we played against Mel and that we played a CTF that we've never played before, and if we lost that, we would have played an S&D we hadn't played before either. So glad we won that map, because that could have literally.
So in a way, it worked out quite well where you finished off.
Yeah, 100%.
Awesome stuff. Well, that's pretty much going to wrap up our little run in the CWL League European qualifiers run by exceL for Activision and Treyarch. You know, nothing more to say than I'm super proud of you guys. I'm sure everyone else is at exceL and who supports the organization, because it's a massive step forward in the right direction. Just before we kind of close out this video, is there anything you guys personally want to say? Give any shout outs to sponsors, anything at all? Now is the time.
Shout out to the squad. Shout out to Nick and Brian.
Yeah.
Nick and Brian. Shout out to Joe and Kieran for supporting us all the way through. Just everyone behind the organisation has been amazing towards us. Hoping that we qualified and stuff, and thankfully managed to do it.
Zach?
Sponsors, Zach? Go for it. I don't even know them.
Sponsors, obviously Scuff, because wouldn't be here without Scuff.
Oh yeah, Scuff, how could I forget?
Lifesaver for me and Shea.
Just to give a little bit of background to that, Shea didn't actually play at AM2 Pro with Scuff. So they hooked him up, they sorted him out, and obviously he's been able to use it in the online qualifiers. That's enhanced his performance. But yeah, carry on.
Hell yeah.
Obviously GTA Mega because they're just so comfortable, bro. Sitting there chilling, like, nah, just everyone really, everyone that can I can't even say the word. Contributes
Contributes to exceL.
To our
Just
cause.
shout out to everyone, man. You're the best.
Nice way to finish off. Well, this is pretty much gonna wrap up, guys. Hopefully you've enjoyed it and kind of
Wait.
enjoyed the
Sorry, can I give one more shout out?
Oh my god, go.
Shout out to the spot. Had to be done.
The spot named Zach.
Sorry for interrupting, Tom.
Right, well, this is pretty much going to wrap up this video. As I said, hopefully you guys have enjoyed this video and kind of the gameplay that I put along with it to kind of show you the series that we played, etc. But my name's been Tommy. That has been That Way Zach, and down below me has been Shea. You can catch them two in the COD World League European division, the Pro
Let's
Division,
get it,
boy. Starting, I believe it's at the very first week of January you can catch him, and hopefully I have no doubt they will be at the season finals in Cologne as well in Germany later on in the year. But as I said, thank you for watching. If you have enjoyed this video, please be sure to hit that like button and leave a comment down below of what you thought of our run, etc., and anything else you want to talk about, etc., and even consider subscribing if you enjoyed this video. So my name's been Tommy. That's been them two buffoons that qualified. I don't know why I call you buffoons, but yeah, anyway, we'll see you later, and as always, have a good day.